Can you believe we started Interview Boss in 2021?
Not really. It's insane. That's a lot of episodes and a lot of hours of talking.
Oh my gosh, it is. And if you're scrolling through all of our episodes, you might scroll straight past something that you really, really needed.
Yes, we're always getting messages from people asking us to do an episode on something, and I'm like, we already have.
So we've put together playlists to help you find the episodes that are exactly what you need, suited to your situation.
They're all categorized. If you're applying for jobs, we have episodes about resumes, cover letters, job ads. If you've been offered your dream job, we have episodes on resigning, exit interviews, and how to impress at your new company.
And we even have a very special playlist that's very popular for if you have an interview coming up immediately and you need just our most recommended hard-hitting episodes between now and then.
For all our last-minute listeners. It's all there for you. You can browse by category and check out all the playlists at interviewboss.com.au/podcast.
Do not try and think, calm down, calm down. That is not the right strategy at all.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Interview Boss. My name's Emma. I'm a radio journalist who's teamed up with my sister to give you advice, inspiration, and support when you're looking for a new job. Sarah is a HR and recruitment professional, and together we're excited to give you guys all the tips, tricks, and behind-the-scenes knowledge to help you in your career.
Hey, Em, and welcome back, everyone. Em, who are we shouting out this week?
Shout out to Katie, our bestie. She says, "Hi there, I just want to say a huge thank you. In your episode about prepping for interviews, you advise that people figure out what stories they want the interviewer to walk away with and mapping them out to the job description instead of Googling common interview questions." That's right, it's our favourite piece of advice. She says this advice has been an absolute game changer. Not only was it a useful and necessary exercise for me to dig deep into my past experience, but it's an excellent framework for when I get a question from out of the left field. I used to freak out if the question wasn't exactly what I anticipated, which was like 99% of the time, lol, she says. So true. But now I just take a breath, choose a story, and directly address what they're asking about. Thank you. I'm so much more confident in interviews now because of this mindset shift. What a good student. That is just exactly why we give that advice, because that's exactly what happens. You just balk when they haven't asked you exactly what you prepared for. You're setting yourself up for failure.
And I find people ask me, "Hey Sarah, what are they going to ask?" I'm like, I don't know. I can guess what I would ask if I was interviewing for that job, obviously, but every interviewer is different. And like we said in our curly questions episode, some of them go rogue because they're a bit bored. So you just really never know what they're going to throw at you. So the best way that you can prepare is not to try and guess what they're going to ask you. It's to come up with stories so you're ready for all the key areas and then you've got something to say back. Yeah, I love that tip. It's awesome. And it's also really relevant to our topic today, Em. We're talking about interview nerves. So if you want results like that and to help me take you through that process of going through all of your stories, check out my one-on-one sessions. I have these with people all around the world. There's heaps of different times available, and most people book in a couple of days before their interview or the day before with really short notice. So there's plenty of slots. Hopefully you can find one that works for your time zone. You can find that at www.interviewboss.com.au/coaching.
And our legend listener, Katie, is going the draw to win a Shoot Your Shot shout out gift box. So every month we're choosing someone who's going to win. So if you liked one of our episodes, used a tip we sent you, or you want to request an episode specifically on your situation or industry, slide into our DMs and you could be a winner. All right, let's get into it. Today we're going to be talking about interview nerves. This is a very hot topic. We've all been there. Some tips to get through it.
Do you get nerves when you go for an interview?
Not really. So I'm a bad person to ask. Obviously here and there, you know me, the listeners know me. I spin good yarns. I come up with answers. It's a talent. So obviously I have some interview nerves, but I generally go in feeling good. I'm not a panicker. You know, some people like our mum just panic, can't do it. Like I don't have that. So I'm probably not the best to empathize with. I can empathize, but
You can sympathize, but you can't empathize.
I can sympathize, yeah. Makes me sound really up myself. I understand. Like, of course I get a little bit nervous, but not to the point where I'm like, feel sick in the stomach, sweating, like not like that.
I definitely get nervous. Even running this podcast and having an interview, absolutely the nerves still kick in. I would say that they're probably not like super overwhelming, but the amount of times I've been for interviews doesn't change the way I feel at all. It's still there every single time. So I think these tips are really, really helpful. And what we're talking about is just to give you some ideas of what might work for you. I don't think everything works for every person because I think it depends on why you're nervous almost as to how you can deal with it. So we've got heaps of tips here that you can use to work out if this fits in your situation and try it and see if it helps.
Number 1, prepare. The best way to fight off the nerves is if you're well prepared, because you can use the logic to go, look, brain, we've done our best. We've done everything we can. The time that you're going to be feeling nervous is when you're going, oh, I really didn't do as much as I could have for this,
Exactly. And I think that kind of goes to what Katie said at the beginning of our episode as well, that if you've got those stories ready, there's always something that you can say to your interviewer. Cool. So our next tip is to actually not try and relax. This is a bit counterintuitive, Em, but I found a study on this actually to back this up. Instead of trying to calm yourself down and stop being nervous, try and reframe those feelings as excitement. If you're nervous about something, chances are you really want the job, or you're excited about it, or you really want to do well. You can reframe that as excitement. Normally the jobs that we want the most are the ones that we're the most nervous for. And this technique is actually called anxiety reappraisal. So there was this one study that I was reading that showed that basically told people in this experiment that they were going to have to deliver a presentation on camera to make them feel really anxious, right? And they put them in 3 different groups. Either they were told, ignore the anxious feelings, try and make them go away, try and not be anxious. So like forcing yourself not to be anxious. That was one category. Another category, they were told, just accept the feelings, don't try and change them, just listen to your body and don't put any pressure on it. And then the third group was told to kind of be a bit logical and think their way out of it. So they were told, think about it as excitement, remind yourself that nothing can hurt you, you're not under threat. And in those 3 groups, what do you think happened?
The people that were told to relax were the worst off, and they were the opposite of relaxed.
Yeah, absolutely. When they were told to like try and relax and stop being nervous, their heart rate actually got higher. So their heart's beating even faster than it was originally. So that's the worst thing you could do.
Have I talked about the pink elephant before on here? I feel like I might have, but I love it. It's like a psychology study where you say to someone, okay, for the next 30 seconds, I want you to think about anything you like but a pink elephant. You are not allowed to think about a pink elephant, no matter what I say, all right? Anything you like, just do not think about pink elephant. All right, go. And then you give them 10 seconds and then you say, what are you thinking about? And they're like, a pink elephant, because it's how the brain works. So if you're trying to suppress the nerves, it's like when you're trying to go to sleep and you're like, oh my God, I've got to go to sleep. Oh, now I can only get 7 hours. Oh, now it's only going to be 6 hours if I go to sleep right now. You just spiral. It makes it worse. You just have to lay there and go, deep breath. It's okay that I'm not asleep. And eventually you'll get tired. It's the age-old psychology, same thing.
The interesting thing with this study is that the category of acceptance, their heart rate didn't increase further, but they still felt at the end that they were quite anxious. They said, yeah, I still felt anxious before standing up to do that talk. But in the reappraisal category, where they were trying to reframe, trying to remind themselves that they weren't under threat, think of it as excitement, they reported feeling less anxious, and they also didn't have the heart rate increase. So I think this is a really great one. Do not try and think, calm down, calm down. That is not the right strategy at all.
Also, positive self-talk. Cringy, but, give yourself a hype up. Give yourself a pep talk. Get someone else to give you a pep talk, but then give yourself that same pep talk when it's just you.
Yeah, think about the great things you've done. And it doesn't have to be just work related. It can be outside work as well. Like, I'm a great sister. I'm a great housemate. I don't know. I'm a great mum.
I'm resilient. I'll be okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Love that. Or even just like, I look great today.
Yeah, feeling myself. I'm in a power suit. Also, change your mindset. You can go back and listen to our red flags episode.
Yeah, so this is kind of about just thinking about the fact that you're walking in there to interview them as much as they're trying to interview you. We talk about this all the time, and I think it's really helpful when you're feeling really nervous. I think sometimes you can get caught up with the idea that they need to pick you. And what you can think about is that you're going in there to work out whether you like them. Maybe you don't.
Yeah, take back the power. Maybe I don't want to pick them. Maybe they suck.
And think about some red flags to look for. I think that would be a good one to think about going in, looking for red flags, because it changes the way that you're seeing the power in the situation.
Also, remind yourself that you're doing something positive for yourself and that this, even if it doesn't work out and you don't get the job, you're bringing yourself one step closer to getting that amazing dream job. You know, each interview, although it doesn't feel like it, it's a step closer, you know, it's practice, because you can never have too much practice, especially if you're someone that you balk and you know, panic and you don't do well in interviews. The more you do, that's going to get better.
Absolutely. Then think about going into the interview to get some experience, with interviewing. Interviewing is a skill and it takes practice, and every time you have one, the better off you'll be. I often have the opportunity to kind of say to people whether or not they should have to interview for a job that they're going for internally, that's a promotion that we want to give them. And sometimes they're the only person for the role and we want to promote them, but I strongly recommend that we interview them just to make sure that they don't go their whole career never having had an interview, because it's not a good skill to miss out on your whole career, because one day you're probably going to need to do one. So going to this next interview for you is going to be a great experience. See if you can think as well, what's one new thing that I might learn in this interview about the company, about the people, about the building in the company that you're going to. Learn one new thing.
Hey job hunters, big news. Our all new course, Interview Academy, is live and ready to transform your interview game. It's all the strategies from Sarah's one-on-one coaching, but without the limited time slots.
Yep, it takes you step by step through crafting your career story, coming up with your awesome best bits, and all the practice you need.
And guess what?
It's at a special launch price, never to be seen again. Get more information at interviewboss.com.au/interview-academy. It's linked in the show notes below.
Also, have a great outfit. Now, just the growth that I've gone through, if we go back to our really early days in the podcast, we can probably find it somewhere. Sarah says to get a new interview outfit to be feeling yourself, whatever, you know, you feel great. And I was like, ew, no, I just hate work clothes. You can never feel good in work clothes. I'm not going to buy money on an interview outfit. I'd like to say that I've changed my mind, because my new hobby is serving absolute fits in my office. Like, I love it. But yeah, it's because there's a stereotype. Work clothes are normally ugly, but my office is like a smart casual, so it's not super corporate-y. And so I can still dress half how I would with a bit of...
And what did I say to you back in that episode, Em? Make it yours. You can turn whatever your style is into work outfits. You don't have to wear like black pants, loafers and a button-up top every day. And even if you do, you can imagine like wide leg pants that are floor length and really like wide, and then like a big baggy unbuttoned button down, and then some chunky loaf. I don't know. That's a whole different look than what you're imagining in your head, right? You can make your interview outfits your own. And I am a big believer in the power of how you feel. Yeah, make sure that you have a great outfit ready, that you feel really confident in, that you can walk comfortably in or whatever, and that you're the right temperature too. I think that would be helpful.
The right temperature. That's so funny.
You don't want to be cold or like too hot, particularly too hot. Yeah, you don't want to be sweaty.
That's funny. I am sweaty. Once you're done prepping, stop. It's like the exam. It's like your final school exams. A day before, stop. Looking over those notes that morning or staying up late, nothing more is going to sink in. Trust yourself that you've done what you can, and the rest is in the universe's hands. The rest is in the job lord's hands.
And I don't think you want to be like in the taxi or whatever going to your interview, or on the bus, like still looking over things. I think you're just going to freak yourself out. Once you've done what you can do in the time that you have, stop preparing. And then focus on doing something you enjoy, just thinking about something else for a little while right before the interview.
Watch some ASMR videos on your phone if you're into that. I am into that. I love ASMR. ASMR.
Yeah, do something you enjoy or something that makes you laugh or feel like you. I think calling someone is always a really good one when you're like right before the interview. Call a friend that you always have good chats with. They don't necessarily have to hype you up specifically, but you can just call them and not even tell them that you're about to go into an interview just to have a good chat.
Call your dad.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not?
I'd call my dad. My dad, our dad. We share a dad.
Look at photos of your pet. I don't know, I'm being creative here. Like, what are things that could make you happy that you could do like right before? Listen to your favourite song. Oh, a hype up song. How good would that be? Like a song that you'd put on right before a boxing match.
Oh my God.
Like, something like that.
Eye of the Tiger.
Yes.
Dun, dun, dun. That's really aggressive. Anyway, next, breathing techniques. Breathe it out, sis. I feel like these tips are really generic and funny, but it's important. Take some deep breaths.
Yeah, but have you ever done this when you're actually stressed out about something?
Yeah, all the time.
It works.
Yeah.
It's annoying, but it works.
Yeah, I know.
The one that I like the most is breathing out for more seconds than you breathe in for. So if you breathe in for 3, then try and breathe out for 4 or 5. Because I think when you're anxious, you tend not to breathe out properly. So yeah, I think that's a good one to try.
Also, if you really need to wee, ask to use the bathroom. Don't just hold on.
Yeah. I also thought as well, if you needed a moment to like compose yourself when they first come out, oh, do you mind if I just duck to the bathroom first? Like if you're feeling sweaty or whatever, you can wash your hands and put like your cold hands on your neck or something like that. You could just take a second in the bathroom by yourself to compose yourself as well. People often think like, oh, can I do that? There are no rules. Like they're just humans in the interview process. Like if you need to go to the bathroom, ask where the bathroom is. Why not?
This next one's funny. If you're shaking, squeeze your bum to make you stop.
I don't know if this works. I think someone needs to try it. I saw it online somewhere. Apparently, if your hands are shaking or you're the kind of person that shakes when they're nervous, if you squeeze your bum and your thighs, apparently you can't have your hands shake at the same time.
Interesting.
And they're not going to know that you're clenching secretly. So
you'll be clenching in secret.
Yeah. I like that one. I think someone needs to try that and let us know next time your hands are shaking. See if that works.
Or yeah, if you're fidgeting, change it to a fidget that they can't see, like shake your foot or something. You know, they can't see that rather than tapping or
wiggle your toe inside your shoe or something. Yeah, something invisible. I like that. That's a good one.
Pick a fidget that's not at face level. And most of the time you'll be sitting, which is good because I feel like a lot of people would sway. Remember kids in like public speaking in school and they'd be swaying or...
Oh, standing up. Yeah, but you can sway in your chair.
Can you?
Yeah. If you're wiggling your hands around or something and you wave your hands too much excitedly, maybe sit on them. That's always a good one. Or hold something. Like, again, this is where the glass of water, saying yes to that glass of water comes in handy because you can use that to like hold on to and don't move your hands. And to finish it all off, Em, what's our final tip?
Remember, you don't need to be perfect. Nobody's perfect. I gotta work it. Just remember that. As Hannah Montana once said, nobody's perfect. You live and you learn it or work it.
And they're not looking for perfect. You don't have to get every single answer perfect at all in order to do well in the interview. So don't put so much pressure on yourself. Cool. Good luck, everyone. Thanks so much for listening to Interview Boss. If you like hearing the sound of our voices, hit that subscribe button in Apple or follow on Spotify, or better yet, tell someone else about the show. That's how we can hit the charts so we can help even more people. For more advice, inspiration, and a supportive community, check us out on Instagram @InterviewBoss.
If we've been your job search besties and helped you in some way, there's a cool way you can support the show. Shout us a virtual coffee.
We get a huge kick out of reading all of your success stories. Head to buymeacoffee.com/interviewboss and shout us a cuppa.
If you keep us caffeinated, we can keep the content coming.